Make sure you like this video as you are coming in. Make sure you like it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New. And honey, I'm back in the building. Listen, okay? Look, I'm back to work, honey, okay? I have a question for you guys. This is for Married to Medicine, Season 11, Episode 15. Duchess Toya and Her Royal Court is the name of the episode. I have a question. What show are some of you all watching? Okay? Is my question. What show are some of you all watching? Because I need to break all this down. Okay? Because I think I read some comments from the community tab and some of y'all was like, yeah, Sweet Tea, she realized that Mimi is fake. Mimi is not fake. Sweet Tea is fake. Sweet Tea is an idiot, and so is Gregory, and here is why. You're upset with these ladies because they made up with Quad. Gregory feels like the guys are more on King's side than his side. Okay? That's why the two of them are upset with the group. I'm with Simone when Simone called out Sweet Tea and said, wow, she's really not taking accountability for her behavior. That lady is crazy. She is not this sweet and loving woman. We have showed her, not we have showed her, but they have showed her. Did some of y'all watch the show? I do not think some of you all are watching the show. I really don't believe it, because they showed her going off on people, screaming and yelling, acting belligerent, acting a fool. This was even when it was her bachelorette party. She began going off on her sister. Okay? Well, yeah, she was upset. And no, this girl don't get upset. She goes from 0 to 100. She is no better than any other woman on this show, and she does not own her behavior. Gregory is just now owning his behavior. And I'm going to tell y'all why Gregory is conveniently owning his behavior, because he realized that the guys was not on his side. So now, if that card don't work, I'm going to play another card. Y'all allowing Gregory and Sweet Tea to play in y'all face. I don't know what is wrong with some of y'all. These people are not innocent. Gregory came around to this group to where Quad works at. His ex-wife. He knows what show she's on. Okay? He brought the new wife to get Quad kicked out of her job. He loved last season when the group was dogging Quad. And I know that Quad is not innocent. She was coming up late and showing up late and, saying she was just here for her check. I'm not here to defend that. Quad was wrong. And Quad does have some narcissistic tendencies. I will admit to that. But with that aside... Okay? With that aside, Gregory and Sweet Tea both made a choice to come on this show and throw their relationship in Quad's face. This man could have went on a new reality show. Sweet Tea is not innocent. The ladies are not turning their backs on her. They realize that she does not own her behavior. We've heard it from Toya. We've heard it from Simone. We've heard it from Heavenly. Okay? We've heard it from Jackie. She does not own her behavior. She's trying to pull a Phaedra. Phaedra ain't innocent either. Phaedra is another one that was okay with this group dogging out Quad. And then as soon as they start playing them same games with her, then it was too much. It was just, yeah, it was all too much, and she doesn't want to do TV like that, and she just wants to be a fly on the wall and be in the background, and don't nobody play with her and bother her. Okay? But it was okay last season when they was playing all these games with Quad and playing in her face. That was okay. Y'all have to watch out for people like that. And Sweet Tea, I could give you what you want. I could give you what you need. Translation. I watched Married to Medicine, and I watched how you treated your ex-wife, and she didn't give you a baby after you treated her so bad, so I can give you a baby. And this bitch says that all the while not delivering on the promise. Okay? She didn't deliver on her promise. Sweet Tea signed up to antagonize Quad. Her and Gregory. Okay? Don't you notice that there's a difference between them this season and last season? Don't you notice there's a difference? This season, you're seeing the real them, and you're seeing people that's not getting it, they're not having it their way, because this is not how the plan was supposed to unfold. They were supposed to throw their marriage, their relationship, and everything in Quad's face. That's okay. Okay? And as soon as it looked like they wasn't going to get the upper hand, like, especially Gregory, he saw that the guys wasn't buying his behavior, the fact he couldn't own up to his behavior, and that's why he all of a sudden, he wanted to try to work something out. Because now your back is against the wall. You don't have a choice. The guys like King, and you don't like that. You wanted Quad to be single and not have a man on here. And especially, she don't need a man to defend her. Because after all, you are always right. Okay? He couldn't even admit that he was wrong for telling Quad to shut the hell up. She talked too much. He couldn't even admit that that was wrong. They played the clip where he said, well, no, I think we both need to own up to that. I'm sorry? And I know some people will say, well, Quad, she was antagonizing him and saying how much sex she was having. Who gives a flying crap? Who cares? Y'all think that they supposed to sit up and play in this woman's face and she ain't gonna get her get back? What the hell wrong with y'all? Are you human? I wish a brother Tucker would. Okay? Quad did what she was supposed to do. Okay? She threw her new man all up in Gregory's face and letting Gregory know we having all this sex, we having a good time. And yes, I'm ready to bust it wide open for this man because he's a good man. He's not a narcissist like you, throwing money in my face every 5 minutes. And whenever it's time to communicate, he's not speeding off in a Mini Cooper. That man is vile and disrespectful, and the number of people that are taken up for Dr. G is disgusting to me. It's like, what are y'all watching? What are y'all watching? He's not a good person at all. Sweet Tea, not a good person. This lady, Sweet Tea, is a monitoring spirit. She's a monitoring spirit. Her telling Gregory, I can give you what you want, I can give you what you need, means she was watching Gregory and Quad on Married to Medicine. She even jumped in and told Quad, yeah, he wanted that divorce. Bitch, was you there? You wasn't there. Why you got to comment on that? You was not there. I told y'all, don't nobody know more than a brother Tucker that wasn't even there. Quad ended that marriage. He was disrespectful and abusive to her. Okay, and I hear certain people saying, yeah, well, she was fighting that man too. Listen, he is a man. He is stronger than her. And I do not think that any woman should put her hands on a man unless she's defending herself. And I believe Quad was defending herself. I'm watching his damn behavior. I work in mental health. Okay? I know what the hell I'm looking at. Okay? So, yeah, she was defending herself against that man. He's stronger than her. Gregory is a BAN that wants to fight with women. He another Martell. They love fighting and arguing with women. Just like Melody called out Martell down in that reunion and said, oh, you ain't turning up on Ken like that. Yeah. Because he the type of man, he wants to argue and be abusive with women, and he would never step to a man like that. And that is Gregory. That's why he tried to fight in a different way by trying to get some charges pressed against King. Okay? When King was just defending Quad, he actually asked Gregory to apologize, but Gregory, the narcissist, he wants to be disrespectful to Quad. Okay? Because after all, I can disrespect you. You better not ever disrespect me. And your man better not defend you against me. Like, the number of people that's going up for this abuse is disgusting. But, they're having their whole, Bridgerton, I guess it's a anniversary party for TOYA and EUGENE. TOYA is so cute in her confessional, cause she thought that this time was for real, but EUGENE was like, no, back in, this time, this Bridgerton stuff, this is made up. And TOYA was like, huh? I didn't know it was made up. And, y'all know TOYA is over the top, honey, with her parties. But this was cute. I didn't like that EUGENE had, broke his, toe. Okay, trying to do somebody else's job. EUGENE, you work too damn hard. Okay, you cook, you clean, like, honey, you do team too much. Just let the people do their damn job, EUGENE. EUGENE gotta learn that. But he's a good man, though. I'll give him that. He's a good man, I will say, with duties. I'll say that, with cooking and cleaning. You want a man, ladies, that can cook and clean. Because that is a good man, Savannah. He's a good man in some ways, but sometimes he be needing to put his damn foot down. Because TOYA is running it, honey. And I'm not saying he need to put his foot down in terms of, like, checking her, disrespecting her, and not allowing her to be herself, but TOYA needs boundaries, because she could go way too far. But they're cute, and, them having this for their anniversary party is cute. And I know y'all like, girl, you don't really want to talk about this. No, because I want to talk about, like, the important stuff. Because it's like, I don't know what show some of y'all is watching. Well, poor Letitia, if I see another damn post, poor Letitia that chose to come on this show and marry this man on his ex-wife's show at her job. You're not innocent. And whatever smoke you getting right now, you deserve it. Because you didn't come with the right intentions. Both of you jokers had malicious intent. Okay, now let's look at what a monitoring spirit is. A monitoring spirit are supernatural entities that watch over individuals or families to track their behavior, actions, and decisions. Sweet Tea watch Married to Medicine, seasons 1 through 9. She watched it. She watched Quad. Why you think she's dressing like Quad? Okay, why you think she ended up marrying Quad's man? Why do you think she's still living in the same house that Quad was living in? Okay? Monitoring spirits is real. A monitoring spirit can be a neighbor, a coworker, anybody that watches you, anybody constantly staring at you, nosy, intrusive. That is a monitoring spirit. I don't give a damn. These people are evil and they live to try to sabotage people because they are unhappy in their lives. Okay? They don't have a life. Their life is to focus on you and copy every damn thing you do. Okay, so it also says they are believed to be present in different cultures, religions, beliefs, traditions, and superstitions. In spiritual teachings, monitoring spirits are forces believed to observe people with the goal of causing harm or delay in their lives. Okay? Sweet Tea is another one. She don't like that Quad is with King and they having all this sex because she was like, remember when they was on the beach, they wasn't at the sandbar. She was speaking for Quad saying, oh, I don't believe it. They not having all that sex. See, every time she speaks, she has something negative to say about Quad. She even jumped in. And it's funny because she called herself checking Quad, but Gregory actually took Quad's side. And if you notice when she was trying to get at Quad, he got even louder with her. And Quad came in and was like, honey, my man would never yell at me like that. Okay? So yeah, Gregory didn't even want Sweet Tea arguing with Quad. Did y'all pay attention to that? It was okay for him to say what he wanted to say, though. Okay? Gregory says he doesn't feel good about leaving, and he doesn't feel good about staying in the group. Okay? Because he came in with the wrong intentions. His plan backfired. If you look at him and Letitia, I'm looking at them right now. And my screen is paused. They look very unhappy because it was okay when they was, parading a relationship in front of Quad and she ain't had nobody and the group was dogging her out. I'll never forget, last season, I saw the smirk on his face when I think it was Eugene or somebody mentioned that they sent Quad home and he was just a smiling. Okay? He was happy about that. He thought that Quad was supposed to stay married to him even though he was a horrible husband. He was financially abusive. Yeah, he bought her a lot of nice stuff, but he bought her those things to throw it in her face. Not, because he loved her or this is what I do for my women and this is what I do for somebody I really care about. No, he threw the shit in her face. Then when she would try to do something for him, like write that check out for the mortgage for a year, he turned it down. I was with a man like that. I know what they do. Okay? They will literally give to you just to throw the shit in your face. Sweet Tea says maybe we need to do our own thing. Gregory says, yeah, we the only ones putting forth an effort. What effort are you putting forward? Huh? What? Okay. You ain't putting no effort into nothing. What's happening is you're not getting your way, narcissist. So you're threatening to leave. You're threatening to claim assault on King. That way he could get kicked out of the group and Quad has nobody to film with and she can finally lose her job. This man is evil. He's diabolical. And any woman that is married to him after seeing how he treated his ex-wife is just like him. Okay? These men get codependent, pick-me women. That's what they get. That's what they attract. That's who they want to be with. He didn't like Quad, her charismatic, funny, confident. He hated her confidence. That's why he wanted to tear her down. That's why he got on here and said she talked too damn much. She's all talk. And then that's why when they were having problems in their marriage, we could go back to season 5. Yeah, this is supposed to be a partnership, but you don't do nothing for me. These people, you can try to do your all for them. Buy them nice things. They'll turn it down because they want to be the only one that's giving. That way they can be the only one to get credit for doing the giving in the marriage or the relationship, which is abusive. And he's supposed to be a psychiatrist. And he has bad reviews. I read them last year. And on top of that, did y'all hear Sweet Tea say that Gregory was attacked by one of his clients? Nigga, what's going on with you where everybody want to whoop your ass? Okay, that's another sign there's something wrong with you. Damn clients want to whoop your ass. King want to whoop your ass and the clients. Now, look, that's how you know you got a problem. Narcissists, they want yes men. And that's what Sweet Tea is doing. Being a yes man. And that's not really who she is. You know what I'm saying? That's the part she's willing to play because she doesn't want Quad to win or see her lose. Like when people have messed up relationships and marriages and they come around, with the wrong intentions, they don't want it to look like them and the partner are having issues. We could see that, honey, this marriage is toe up from the flow up and damn near made Miss Robinson throw up. Okay? It's a mess. It's abusive. It's disrespectful. He do the same shit to her that he did with Quad. Storm off whenever, somebody has an opinion about something because he wants to, do all of the decision making in the marriage. She doesn't have the right to have an opinion or have a voice. She's very outspoken. That's why TOYA was telling her, well, girl, it's a partnership. That's your man. Can't you talk to him? And she can't tell TOYA the truth because she's sitting up here, trying to play out this facade of a marriage, So she go say, oh, no, everything is up to Gregory because guess what? Everything really is up to Gregory. Gregory is going to decide everything in our marriage. I'm not going to question him on it, because she was sick of like how he was treating her. She knows he's going to punish her. Okay, if she don't let him decide on, what they're going to do and how they're going to handle things. And the thing with Sweet Tea is really mad at Gregory. Okay, for embarrassing her and not putting up a united front in front of the group. She's mad at that, but she's trying to turn it on the group. Like, oh, well, they don't have our back and they don't, they're turning on us. And girl, you got victim personality disorder because nothing good was going to come out of you coming on this show, doing things the way in which you did with the man you chose to do it with. Okay? Gregory has not changed. You're getting the same treatment, if not worse, than Quad. Because if I'm watching this show, I can only imagine what happens when those cameras are off. Okay? I can only imagine. but you got the same man and you're embarrassed by it. You're in a burning house and you think we don't see the flames. Okay? So that's what happens, you guys, when you're dealing with women like Sweet Tea. You know, they are so desperate to attach themselves to, you know, a man just to say they have one. Just to come on TV and try to, you know, flaunt like, well, Quad was the problem. I don't have any of those issues with him. And the ladies all see it, and she knows that, but she's going to, you know, act like, oh, they've all just turned their back on me. You was cool with it when they was willing to turn their back against Quad and they knew her longer than you. You was cool with it then. Okay? All right, you was cool with the movie script then, and then that script flipped, and now you on the outs, and they see you for who and what you are. And people like Greg and Letitia, Sweet Tea, whatever her name is, they don't like when people see their true colors. They don't like that. That's why they want to leave. Okay? That's why they have all these doubts towards the group. Okay? Because they're not, you know, having it their way. It's not Burger King. Okay? Y'all ain't gonna have y'all way this season. Simone, why the hell you look better at the Bridgerton party than you do at the damn reunion? Your hair was bomb. The dress you had on, you was looking good. You should have wore that to the damn reunion. A mess. So Toya agrees that Quad and King, I guess they're going to come later at like 9. And then Greg and Sweet Tea, they're going to come at 8. So that way, you know, the couples are not around each other at the same time. I thought it was very interesting. We see that Curtis is inappropriate again. They showed a picture with his hand around Heavenly's waist. That's the same man that put Toya on his lap. And he cheated on Jackie and was walking through the damn airport with the lady. It's like, Jackie, bitch, I hope you got a side dude. Because, bitch, you're gonna need one. With Curtis. Curtis is a little too friendly with the ladies. Way too friendly. I know he's either cheating or, look, probably thinking about it. I wouldn't trust Curtis. I wouldn't. The way his hands was around, and then he tried to play dumb in the confessional, and Jackie tried to say, well, maybe it's AI. She tried to laugh it off, but girl, you in danger, Jackie. We see Quad and King talking about how Gregory, you know, was going to file charges. He couldn't file any charges because King did not put his hands on him. Okay? He just asked Gregory to apologize, and Gregory refused. One-sided. I told you. Double-minded. That lets you know you're dealing with the devil. Somebody diabolical. It is killing Gregory that Quad is with an attractive man. King and Quad look good together. Okay? And I believe they having all that sex. I believe it. You know, he really does compliment her. He said that, you know, he's willing to work things out with Gregory without the police and, you know, being involved. So, yeah, he's very mature. All the guys like him. Gregory is also mad about that. He wasn't mad last year, though, when everybody was against Quad and she was this selfish, horrible person, because he wants the group to believe that's why they broke up, because Quad was just all about herself. Okay? So he wanted that narrative to be out there. Now that Quad has made up with the group, you know, that bothers him, because that's not a part of the plan. Okay? Did King try to put that steamer on Quad's hair? I like his personality. He's, you know, joking with her about the crown and, you know, Will there be some type of chemical reaction because of all the products that the hairstylist put in Quad's hair? You know, just little stuff like that. I like King. He's like playful, and I'm feeling Mr. King. I hope next season Gregory and Sweet Tea are off my screen. I just really don't want to see them, because to me they're not giving reality TV. It's giving our plan didn't work and now we mad about it. Look, now I can't get Quad off the show and her man off the show, you know, so yeah, I'm a throw a fit. People do it all the time. I thought it was funny when Simone said Eugene looked like TOYA been beating his ass all these years because of his broken toe. I thought that was cute and funny. I like their relationship. Mimi and Steve, they were there. They were looking cute. Y'all see Sweet Tea crashing out down to the social media? Let me pull it up, what she said about Mimi. Mimi has been very neutral. She did make a little comment, here comes the mess. She wasn't lying though with Sweet Tea and Gregory, because they were not willing to be accountable. Ain't Mimi another psychiatrist? She would know when people are not accountable and responsible for their actions, but they want to hold other people to a certain standard. Those type of people are unhealthy. Okay? They are. And like I said, Sweet Tea don't like that TOYA called her out for her erratic behavior. Gregory don't like to be called out, period. He could dish it, but he can't take it. And Sweet Tea don't like that Mimi called her out. And I see some people are saying, well, Mimi's coming for her spot and she doesn't really care about Sweet Tea. Guess what Sweet Tea said, baby? That ain't never my friend. They just told me. See, you see her crashing out and her little plan didn't work. So now she mad at all the wrong people. She really has misplaced anger. She's really mad at Gregory for putting her in this position, right? But she's not, you know, she's going to try to put up a united front and stay in the marriage to make it look like, oh, well, you know, this was meant to be, and my man, okay, and all of that. Okay, I see ya. I see you, Sweet Tea. Let me read what she said about Mimi. So Sweet Tea says, we were never real friends. She's talking about Mimi. They were cast and we were asked to invite them onto the show. There were even plans for me to film in her office, which I refused. I heard it through the grapevine that they wanted to have a storyline with me, seeing Mimi and painting me to be crazy. See, this is her not, why are you crazy? We see you on the show, you, oh my God. Girl, we see you on the show crashing out, acting belligerent, you short-tempered, okay? We see it on the show. Why? You need to see Mimi. But see, Sweet Tea doesn't want to admit that she has issues. That's not reality. That's why her and Gregory need to go. Okay, they need to go, look, shake a bone and get the hell on. What Miss Wanda say? I heard it through the grapevine. They wanted to have a storyline with me seeing Mimi and painting me to be crazy. Bitch, they wouldn't be painting you to be crazy. You are crazy. Shit. Funny how some call themselves real friends. Girl, they've been knowing Quad for forever, but you was okay with that behavior. You was okay when the shoe was on the other foot and they was treating Quad bad last season. Okay, you wanted to come and steal her friends. Gregory even mentioned it last season. He said, yeah, I'm about to steal all her friends. So, child, y'all defending Gregory and Sweet Tea, I can't get jiggy with it. Nope. So she says, funny how some call themselves real friends yet plan an entire season without even consulting you of what the plans are. I chose to go my own route and film what was authentic to me. What, you and Gregory lying? Not anyone else's storyline. I think when I took a different approach, people didn't know how to handle it. So they grasp at anything to create a false narrative against me. So everybody is creating a narrative against you. Everybody. It's everybody else's fault. So someone comments to that and says, oh, she can see what Dr. Mimi and production was trying to set up, but can't see that she's with a man who is mentally and emotionally abusive to her. She can't see how crazy it sounds for her to refer to dealing with her mental health, as painting me to be crazy. Her saying that lets you know she has some type of shame around her behavior. She wants to pretend it doesn't exist. And this is something to pay attention with people, you guys. People that can't be accountable and responsible for their behavior. People that always lie, okay? When she's an actual so-called therapist, like, girl, this man didn't inform you that that's the very stigma that we've been trying to break our community out of thinking, let alone saying that we can start striving to have healthy minds. Yeah, this is very telling. What did I tell y'all? People are figuring this bitch out. And her and Gregory, they don't like it. They're figuring him out too. But see, sometimes I think that people, their hatred for Quad, it won't allow them to see like what's really going on. Let me read to y'all how crazy people sound. So somebody says, shout out to Sweet Tea for blazing her own trail and not yielding down to anyone. That Mimi is so irrelevant that I won't even bother addressing her. Somebody says to that person, therefore, why would you come to a friend circle with an ex-wife in it and think it was going to be cool? Exactly. Especially an ex-wife that you have no connection with. So somebody says about Sweet Tea, I cannot stand her, or Gerald, the human snapping turtle. Not the human snapping turtle. She has always been about the money, but you let her show her immaturity. She's very immature, but she's not mature enough to be in the company of her successful elders. Another person says, T is stupid. They brought Mimi in, a woman closer to her age, to give her support on the show. Exactly. Since she isn't or wasn't gelling with any of the ladies. Exactly. Her doing a session with Mimi would have showed her building a friendship and made T more sympathetic as she shared the complexities of her new marriage and infertility issues. But she don't want to deal in truth. Okay, miss, I can get you what you want and what you need. Evidently, bitch, you can't. Just, whew. This person says T is not liked, and because she's not, this would have made her more empathetic. It would have been a storyline outside of her marriage and the friendship circle. Yep. Everything isn't sinister. It was actually for her to benefit. Yeah, but she has cognitive dissonance, and honey, she don't know if she coming or going. Because Gregory, is the problem. She's the problem too. Okay? But yeah, ladies, when you are in a burning house, you will turn on yourself. You are betraying yourself, shit, when you with an abusive man like Gregory. And it will cause you to see things that's probably not even there. You're questioning everybody but the man that you with. It's a mess. Gregory and Sweet Tea mentioned that they're going to take time away from the group. They end up leaving TOYA's event so Heavenly and Quad can come in. And I am so glad that Heavenly decided to join Quad and not filming with Gregory and Sweet Tea, not giving them any juice. I love it for real. Heavenly comes in. Her hair is just like how Sweet Tea's was at the reunion. Like I said, this girl copies the people that she hates the most on this show. Heavenly asks Damon, what you got on, baby? Damon don't never participate in none of the themes. He said, I'm just trying to hang in there. Baby, Anila and Karen is at every party that Toya have. I swear Anila want to be back on this show. At this point, I would rather see her and her husband, I would, than Sweet Tea and Gregory. Child, that roasted pig that they had, a mess. Child, when Heavenly came down the stairs, she's cussing. And Toya says they got the best ER doctor on call. Damon is her husband. He a doctor. He could tend to Heavenly. Girl, bye. Lady Quad and Marquise. Is that his real name? They come down. They look cute in their purple. So we see that Contessa and Simone, they visited with Phaedra to try to get them to get Phaedra, to attend Toya and Eugene's anniversary event. I wouldn't have asked Phaedra to do shit. She can go, let her ass go on Real Housewives of Atlanta and look, mess that up again, okay? But, for her to act like that, and I don't think it's cool. If I was Bravo, I would fine Phaedra. I would. I don't think Phaedra would be behaving like that if she didn't have Real Housewives of Atlanta on speed dial. If they wouldn't have accepted her back, she would have had to work it out. So yeah, she don't need to ever come back. Did nobody do you that wrong, Phaedra? Because you knew that Apollo was coming. We have yet another Brother Tucker on this show acting like the poor perpetual victim. And you're not a victim at all. We find out how Toya and Eugene met. It was his last year of residency. And, he ended up going into a restaurant, I guess, in Southfield, Michigan. I had some work done up in Southfield. Shout out to Southfield, Michigan. Okay, listen. But he said that I thought they met at speed dating. So, I don't know. But anyways, I guess he ran into her while she was at the restaurant. And, they ended up getting together. Toya says that Eugene makes her feel smart. Toya, what's up with the blue contacts? And I thought that your damn eyes was hazel. Because I've noticed that over the years. I thought that those were her real eyes, but apparently not. Toya is beautiful, though. I gotta give my girl that. Y'all stop comparing her to Sweet Tea. She don't look... Yes, they probably both got big-ass gums, okay? But one look like a horse, and the other one, baby, is a stallion, okay? That damn Toya fine as hell. Built like a brick house, and she's beautiful. Toya's mother is beautiful. Dad ain't bad looking. Toya nice looking woman. I've always said that. Okay? So, very beautiful woman, but she don't look like no damn Sweet Tea. And Toya, you should choke the hell out of all the people that say you look like that woman. Okay? So the guys tell King that now all of a sudden Gregory is level-headed. This is coming from Scott, who still is not healthy to me. He is still not a good man, Savannah. To me, Scott is wearing a mask and performing his duties of being a better husband to Contessa on screen. So that coming from him don't mean nothing. Gregory is wearing a mask as if he wants to work things out now because the group didn't, especially the guys, they didn't take his side. So now it's like, I don't have no choice, and this man is not going anywhere. But he meant what he did when he was trying to get King arrested, even though King didn't even, put his hands on him. He wanted King kicked out of the group. Okay, so I'm not buying all this change of heart. It's giving, I didn't get my way, and the group didn't take my side, so all of a sudden I'm going to make it look like I'm trying to work some shiggity out with King. I'm not buying it, and don't you buy it, King. King is so cute. Ooh. Go ahead, Miss Quad, honey. Yes. Oh, I love Quad. I love you, Quad. This is why I fuck with Quad, because Quad saw what that punk ass bitch ass ex-husband of hers was pulling, and she said, not today and tomorrow don't look good either. You messed up. Because y'all have to remember, Gregory was wrong, but Gregory was trying to get that man kicked out the group. So he probably just want to get back cool with King so he could probably be a monitoring spirit and act like they cool and start up something else with him. So I thank God that Quad said, I will not have my man around that man, because Gregory ain't no good. She's been married to him, so she knows that he's not being genuine. Okay, he's a narcissist. And Toya, you shut up, because you should have never been a part of inviting Sweet Tea around. You only did that shiggity because you was mad at Quad and you wanted to get back at her for dragging your ass all of season 9. She got your ass good too. You had to be a bully though about yours season 10. Okay, and then the shit backfired on y'all, and the whole damn group got dragged. Oh my God. So King says he's open to it. He's not holding any grudges, but see, Quad knows better. Toya tells Quad, you're asking us to choose between you and Letitia. I thought that you was willing to do that. See, this is why I don't trust Toya and her intentions toward Quad. She's another monitoring spirit. I don't trust her. I told y'all a while ago, I always felt like Toya was jealous of Quad, and it's coming out again. Okay? Y'all know damn well what none of y'all want to film with your ex and his new woman. None of y'all. Toya, Simone, Jackie, Heavenly, none of y'all. Y'all shouldn't have never brought them to this show. Okay? Now, y'all almost got their ass out this group, and that's the direction you need to go, because they're not bringing nothing to the group. They're just acting like these poor perpetual victims that somebody is doing something to, when in fact, nobody asked their punk ass to come on the show in the first place. I know y'all like Miss Robinson is on one. I am, because I hate to see what Sweet Tea and Gregory is doing. I hate it. And I hate that certain people is falling for it. It is disgusting to me. Okay? Shout out to Heavenly for seeing this for what it is. Quad tells the group, I'm not asking you to choose. I'm asking you to put yourself in my shoes and do the right thing. Y'all been knowing Quad long enough, and she finally is showing her man. Y'all should just take her side and go on. Okay? So Toya says she doesn't want to lose anybody in this group. Quad said, lose me. I know that's right, because without Quad, they don't have a damn show. Sweet Tea and Gregory ain't gonna be so they're not gonna be so interesting if Quad is not around. So I'm all for Quad if she want to really leave this show, because they don't have a show without Quad. They are obsessed with trying to put Quad in some bullshit. So here goes Toya flip-flopping ass talking about everybody has made mistakes in this group, including King. And Quad is like, what did King do but defend me? Girl, bye. Gaslighting Quad. Toya ain't shit. Okay? Look, I just gave Toya all them compliments. She is beautiful, but Toya, you ain't shit. Heavenly says, if you allow a man to disrespect your woman, you a bitch. And Jackie was like, Heavenly. Simone, her ass says, we're going back to a fractured group. Girl, put yourself in Quad's shoes. Quad, I need you to call Tammy. Tammy, bring Tammy to the show. Okay? And Quad, look up one of Eugene's exes. Bring them to the show. Because I'm just so sure that everybody else wouldn't be acting so mature. So, yeah. And Mimi, why you making that face? Sweet Tea don't like you, gal? She said y'all wasn't friends. Baby, I thought that was Lizzo on the mic, honey, okay? All the couples do their dance. Child, Toya, why you didn't just allow y'all to just dance? Okay, that's what you do. Just dance. Everybody making mistakes doing the dance that they were supposed to learn. A mess. Y'all hear what Toya said in her confessional? It may be time for certain people to go. They put the camera on Quad and, you know, it's like, Toya, shut up. Quad ain't going nowhere because you don't have no show without Quad, okay? But everybody is dancing, having a good time. All right, you guys, that's all I have to say about that. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, Brand New, and I will check you guys out in the next video.